Right, we are on the Sustainable Engineering Alliance podcast stand at the Engineering Design Show 2025, and I am going to be talking to Richard Warrilow from Declaration. So, for members of our audience who aren't familiar with the Declaration brand, can you summarize what you guys do?
Yeah, certainly, John. Yes, we're a technical content creation agency. My personal background is a mix of engineering and technical journalism. So we're working with a number of companies, trying to assist them with not just business to business communications, but engineer to engineer communications. So we want to really get the engineers that are working on a product, a component, for example, in communication with engineers working at the systems level. So to be focusing on the features of products as well as the benefits, and it's the benefits that happen at this higher level of abstraction.
Okay. Give me a clue as to the sort of breadth of the technologies that you get involved in. So what technology groups do you work with?
Certainly. I think if we look at the history of Declaration, which is coming up to its 25th anniversary, what I like about what we do is that one day I might be writing about the landing gear of an Airbus A380. The next day I might be writing about deep submicron technology at the semiconductor industry.
Wow. Okay, so on the basis of your engineering background, and on the basis of the sort of breadth of technologies that you guys are involved in, what I'd like to do is ask a very kind of open question. In terms of the engineering sector, kind of in the UK at the moment, looking forward maybe 12 or 24 months, things like Industry 4.0 and the migration of that into its next phase, humanoid robotics maybe as part of that process, artificial intelligence, etc. Can you give us an indication of where you think all of that is heading in terms of the conversations you have with companies you talk to?
Yes, certainly, John. I think we're at a very interesting stage. Quite like we're in this transition from Industry 4.0 to 5.0. We are seeing some companies like BMW and Nissan who are already claiming they have some Industry 5.0 processes in place. I think that the majority of companies will have embraced 5.0 within the next 5 to 10 years. My understanding is there are three core pillars for Industry 5.0, one of which you've absolutely hit the nail on the head with sustainability aspect. We've also got resilience and also the human-centric aspect. So as we go from automation through to cobots, for example, it is this, you mentioned in your great presentation earlier, kind of robots working alongside individuals. So very interesting times. I think that resilience is going to be an interesting one to tackle because that does include resilience against cyber attacks and cyber threats, which is always a moving target. So it'll be very interesting to see how the industry as a whole embraces that in, let's say, the next 5 to 10 years.
On those three pillars, so if we take a look at sustainability, on the board behind you, we've got all the sort of attributes that we feel contribute to sustainable design, which we can talk through. Resilience, what does that mean to you, resilience? You spoke about cybersecurity there. What's the broad picture on resilience? What does that mean?
Okay, my personal take on this is that if you look at how things were leading up to the COVID pandemic, the whole industry would embrace Industry 4.0, we'd embrace just in time. Everything was so fine. The semiconductor industry was always cyclic. It's always between famine or feast. We either made too many parts or there aren't enough when they're needed. I think the pandemic hit a lot of companies hard. If you look at how companies went from this just in time to saying, actually, well, no, we've been hit hard by the pandemic. So I think resilience is getting prepared for that, having the measures in place to cope with financial crashes, pandemics, cyber attacks, which obviously Jaguar Land Rover's feeling,
Yeah.
particularly at this point in time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take on resilience. Yeah.
So a more holistic process. I'll go slightly off script now, and I'll offer thoughts I've had on Industry 5.0 and resilience to see what you think. You've looked at this in more detail than I have. I've got a model in my mind where the manufacturing hubs in the world, primarily China at the moment, obviously, and moving a little further afield, remain in place. They've got the hardware, they've got the processes, they've got the materials and the people. And we continue to take manufactured new products from them. When that arrives in the UK, we abandon the linear model at the moment of make, buy, use, landfill or burn, and maybe turn that into more of a localized circular model.
Yes.
Where we've got that new product, but we then we breathe more life into it.
Yeah.
Within our own manufacturing, or I shouldn't say remanufacturing facilities in the UK. Maybe allowing products to be upgraded, enhanced, improved over time. So maybe they last in the market for twice as long as they would have done, and they're twice as good at the end.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a viable? Future?
I'd love to see it, because it's a return to how things used to be.
Okay.
I'm of an age where, we've gone from VHS video recorders that if it broke, you'd get it repaired, to DVD players, where it suddenly became a disposable commodity, because if the laser diode packed up, which was over 50% of the cost of the product, it's no longer viable to repair it. So it's a return to how things used to be, and I think that's fantastic.
I think in robotics, talk about cobots. So at home, I have a little 3D printer sitting next to my PC. It's my version of cobot.
Yeah.
It does things while I do other things. But at the moment, the real buzz is around humanoid robots.
Yes.
Which exists really because the world is designed for humans. And so it's a way of introducing automation into an Industry 5.0 environment. What's your best guess on humanoid robots? Where do you think we'll be in maybe a couple of years' time?
Interesting question. Yeah, I think it will happen. It's like any new technology. I think that there will be a learning curve, that perhaps early introductions are rather basic. I think once the machine learning and the algorithms really kick in, it's the humanoid robots can become a valuable addition to the workforce, being able to oversee safety, looking after their human co-workers. So yeah, it's collaboration at a fantastic level.
A lot of collaboration. And that third pillar you were talking about of Industry 5.0, the human.
Yes.
But how do you interpret that? What's the
human-centric? It's really kind of working alongside humans. It's not really trying to replace them in all roles. It's looking at working out which party is best handling which aspect of a task. So it's the creativity, thinking outside of what I think those would be the human angle there. The humanoid robot is there to pick up on some of the more, let's call them the manual, repetitive jobs that need doing 24/7.
Yes. Yeah. Coming, if you go into my background, I specialized in robotics and automation a long time ago. And I think some of the rules still apply. Back then it was typically dangerous jobs, hazardous jobs, repetitive jobs, as you say, heavy jobs, but also levels of sort of precision that were beyond human capability, and also levels of speed.
Yeah.
So fiddly things done quick.
Yeah.
Which is where humans maybe struggle. So it's almost like the same rules apply, but just in a modern form. Sectors. If you look at manufacturing sectors,
Yeah.
where do you see the sort of growth and innovation over the next couple of years?
Going back to your point about humanoid robots,
Yeah.
if you look at the semiconductor industry, the fact that you will have to send humans into clean rooms,
Okay.
so get suited and booted. There's some particularly nasty chemicals involved in semiconductor manufacturing. So I think that's a prime case where you could say have a humanoid robot
Yeah.
that can work to that level of precision without having to ever leave the clean room.
Yes. Yes, a robot that could live in a clean room.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can provide it with a chair and some entertainment. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Get it. Yes. Yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
also if you look at natural disasters where you might have had an earthquake, a building collapses,
Yep.
you would want to send a humanoid robot in
Yep.
to perhaps do some exploratory investigations. They will have thermal imaging sensors built in, can do far more than a human can without extra equipment to carry.
Yep.
But by the same token, any
Yeah.
people trapped in the rubble,
Yes.
it's like a human form,
Yeah.
a human-like form
Yes.
that comes to rescue them.
Yes. So maybe working in collaboration with drones as well,
Yes,
for surveillance and search and rescue type applications.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, fascinating. Right, well, we're coming to the end of our interview. Anything you'd like to introduce or discuss about some of the clients you're working with?
One of the clients you kind of mentioned earlier was Solid State Disc Limited.
Yeah.
They are, in my mind, a champion of the whole sustainability message. They specialize in doing semiconductor-based hard drives for industrial computers. There are lots of systems out there used in defense and telecoms that were perhaps introduced in the 1990s. They would have included what was then state-of-the-art hard disk drives, which with their mechanical components, they're wearing over time. They are a weak point in the continued operation of that system. The original parts was in long obsolete. So without a form fit function replacement, the whole machine home system could potentially be scrapped.
Yeah.
Whereas here's where not only introducing a replacement, but also in adding functionality that wasn't present in the original libraries, such as Ethernet, and being able to connect that system with a server or the cloud.
Yes, fascinating. Yeah, so a classic case of durability and longevity and actually enhancement.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that's key to the not only sustainability, but the resilience, being resilient to the potential demise of that machine.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, wonderful example. Aligning with multiple attributes of sustainable design. Perfect. I'm going to conclude with two kind of off the wall questions.
Yeah.
So the first is, of all the engineers in history, who would you consider your hero?
This may sound soppy, incredibly soppy. In fact, it's going to be my own uncle, who was an electronics engineer, who worked for kind of Land Infrared, as was.
Yeah.
I was always inspired by what it is a job, but he also had his own workshop and his ability to repair things, make things which didn't exist. There's a need for such and such. Well, I shall order the parts and make it myself. And I think that was it's an inspiration to me, and I think that's why I think he's a champion.
Yeah,
A personal champion to me. But he inspired me, and I think that the more engineers can be inspired by other engineers and their ability to solve problems, it's a great thing. That's what I love about the industry.
It's a comment close to my own heart. As I've spoken to you in the past, I volunteer at a repair cafe. And the thing that really gets me every time I go is the skill set of the people sitting either side of me. Amazing engineers. With every skill set you could ever imagine you'd need to repair and remanufacture anything, sitting in a row in a church hall.
Absolutely,
An inspiration to the people that come to have things fixed, the inspiration of children in the room. So that whole mentoring thing, I get that.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
and it's great to work with other engineers, and I've still got fond memories of helping you on Thundering,
The old robot wars.
the Robot Wars project we did back in the late 90s, was it?
Yeah.
So again, that's what I love about engineers. I think every engineer will have a unique skill set, but be able to collaborate with other engineers on solving a bigger problem. And yeah, your skills are best applied there, or this person could do that. So yeah, I got a huge person in the industry.
Yes, the word collaboration has come up multiple times. So clearly it's a foundation moving forward. That's interesting. My final question is, if there was one innovation in the world you wish that you'd invented, what would it be?
Very good question. Lots of things do impress me. They needn't necessarily be electronics related. Yeah, I think a recent example, purely because it's fresh in my mind, is it is a gadget for accessing the roof rack on your car. It's simply a metal plate with a hook on it that hooks onto the loop on your car's B pillar. So you use it as a step to access the top of your car. So it's literally something the size of a half a shoe almost that clips on, and you think, wow, that's great. And I think that's
Simple.
pure. Yes, absolutely. And I think anything that says, wow, what a simple idea. So I've probably got no single example that I've had for a long time, but it's always the latest thing to impress me, and that was it.
So something simple, something effective.
Yes.
And I like the idea of that, because the amount of times I haven't been able to reach the middle of my roof rack, it's pretty much every time. So I like the idea of that, and I may now have to seek one of those out. So
absolutely,
brilliant. Good sales pitch. Just think how much money you could have earned if you'd invented it.
That's absolutely,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the end of our interview. Thank you very much, Richard. I'll let you get back to the show. Thank you for your time.
And thank you, John, for yours. Thank you.
Brilliant. Cheers.